The story begins with a powerful spook, a man named Master Gregory, who had spent his entire life fighting the forces of darkness. Many years ago he confronted one of the most dangerous creatures on earth, a witch named Mother Malkin. After a terrifying and brutal battle, Gregory imprisoned her deep beneath the ground and sealed her there with his powerful magic. But darkness that deep can never remain imprisoned forever. 30 years passed, and one night the moon turned blood red, a night when the power of dark magic became many times stronger. On that very night, Mother Malkin finally broke free from her prison. Meanwhile, we see Gregory living alone, exhausted and broken after decades of fighting evil. Suddenly, his apprentice rushed inside in a panic with terrible news. In a nearby village, the body of a young girl had been possessed by the spirit of a witch. The frightened villagers had locked her inside the church because no one had the courage to go near her. At first, Gregory brushed the matter aside and said that the job could wait until morning. They would deal with it tomorrow. But the moment his apprentice revealed that the spirit possessing the girl was Mother Malkin herself, Gregory immediately got ready. Grabbing his weapons, he set out to confront the dark spirit. Inside the church, Gregory approached the trembling girl and placed a silver locket around her neck. Silver was considered the purest metal and one that was deadly to dark magic. The girl screamed in agony as the witch's spirit was violently torn out of her body. Then, within a swirling storm of black smoke and fire, Mother Malkin revealed her true monstrous form, a gigantic dragon-like creature made of shadows and flames. Gregory's apprentice threw a magical net in an attempt to restrain her, but Malkin proved far too powerful. She smashed through the church walls and dragged the apprentice away with her. Gregory and his apprentice fought with everything they had. Together, they managed to corner her and force her into a magical cage designed to imprison the most dangerous creatures. Just as Gregory was about to seal the cage shut, Malkin lashed out with her tail, wrapped it around the apprentice, and began crushing him mercilessly. Gregory shouted for her to stop, but she ignored him, and her furious roar echoed through the church. Seeing no other choice, Gregory raised his staff and unleashed a blazing sphere of magical fire. The entire cage burst into flames fueled by sacred power. But Malkin proved even stronger than before. She shattered the cage and soared into the open sky. Tragically, the young apprentice became trapped inside the sacred flames, and before Gregory could save him, he was burned to death. Helpless and heartbroken, Gregory screamed in rage, swearing that one day he would destroy Mother Malkin, no matter how long it took. After this, the story shifts to a village where we meet a very special boy named Tom. He could see strange things that no one else was able to see. His dreams were constantly haunted by visions of fire, darkness, and the terrifying face of Mother Malkin. One day, a mysterious visitor arrived at the family farm. It was none other than the legendary Master Gregory himself. Looking directly at Tom's mother, Gregory asked a simple yet frightening question. "Which one is your seventh son?" Tom's mother hesitated for a moment before finally pointing toward her youngest son. Gregory nodded and explained that he needed a new apprentice to hunt witches and the creatures of darkness. In return, he handed Tom's father a heavy pouch filled with gold coins. Although reluctant, Tom's father agreed because he believed Gregory could give his son a better life. Before Tom left, his mother secretly met him. Filled with sadness, she handed him a small silver locket with a red gemstone embedded in its center and told him that it would protect him from evil. There was hidden sorrow in her eyes, as though she knew something she could never reveal. Tom accepted the gift without realizing how important it would become. Far away, among the ruined remains of her ancient mountain fortress, Mother Malkin returned to reclaim her strength. Her sister Victoria had become weak and broken after years of suffering. Using her dark magic, Malkin restored Victoria's strength and began rebuilding her army. The fortress, once abandoned and lifeless, awakened once again under the influence of dark magic. The Queen of Witches had returned, and this time she intended to unleash devastation upon the entire world. As Master Gregory and his new apprentice Tom continued their journey, they arrived in a crowded town. Gregory, being a man who enjoyed his drink, casually told Tom, "I'm going to have a few drinks. Why don't you explore the town for a while?" As Tom wandered through the busy marketplace, he suddenly heard shouting ahead. A large crowd had captured a young woman with black hair. They were completely convinced that she was a witch, and they planned to burn her alive before sunset. Tom pushed his way through the crowd, but the moment he saw the young woman's face, he froze. He recognized her immediately, not from this world but from his dreams. For reasons he couldn't explain, he felt an unusual connection to her. Following his instincts, Tom stepped forward and boldly announced that he was Master Gregory's apprentice and that only he had the authority to deal with the witch. The villagers were terrified, but upon hearing Gregory's name, they backed away. The young woman looked calmly into Tom's eyes. "My name is Alice," she said softly. There was something about her presence that was both beautiful and dangerously mysterious. Tom remained confused by the strange attraction he felt toward her. Alice smiled gently, and before Tom could say anything more, she disappeared into the crowd, saying only that they would meet again. Alice returned home, and that home turned out to be none other than Mother Malkin's dark fortress. She quietly entered, where her Aunt Malkin welcomed her. Victoria then revealed that Alice was actually her own daughter. When Mother Malkin saw her niece, she affectionately called Alice her little spy, believing she would help fulfill their plans. But Alice was different from the rest of her family. Deep inside, she despised the cruelty, bloodlust, and evil that ruled them. Although darkness flowed through her blood, she was completely against harming innocent people. Meanwhile, Gregory and Tom ventured deeper into a forest filled with thick mist and strange sounds. As night fell, Tom suddenly became uneasy. Without warning, he collapsed onto the ground as another powerful vision overtook him. Images of fire, monstrous creatures, and the blood-red full moon flashed before his eyes. When he finally awoke, morning had arrived. He found himself lying inside a small wooden boat. Nearby, Gregory was resting alongside his loyal friend Tusk. As soon as Tom woke up, only one question filled his mind. "How long do I have to remain your apprentice?" Gregory looked at him seriously and answered, "Until the next full moon." He explained that Mother Malkin was growing stronger with every passing night. Once the full moon rose, her powers would become limitless. If they failed to defeat her before then, no force in the world would ever be able to stop her. Eventually, they reached one of Gregory's secret hideouts. Gregory stepped outside for a while, leaving Tom alone inside the cabin. Curious, Tom began exploring the place. He eventually found a locked door. Ignoring Gregory's warnings, he decided to peek inside. The room was dark, and in its center rested a strange suit of armor. Without realizing it, Tom accidentally released a dangerous shape-shifting demon. The creature attacked instantly, hurling Tom from one end of the room to the other. No matter how hard he fought, he was hopelessly outmatched by the mysterious being. Just as the demon was about to crush him, Gregory burst into the room with incredible speed and skill and killed the monster for good. Furious, Gregory glared at Tom and said, "If you keep behaving like this, you'll get yourself killed, and one day you'll get me killed too. These magical creatures are extremely dangerous. If you're not properly prepared, they'll tear you apart." From that moment onward, Gregory began Tom's brutal training. He taught him how to fight, how to wield magical weapons, and how to strike with precision while remaining calm under pressure. Tom learned to recognize the signs of dark magic and how to resist the influence of witches. The days were long, exhausting, and relentless, but Gregory knew they had no time left. With every passing day, the blood moon drew closer. Meanwhile, at the mountain fortress, Mother Malkin's army continued to grow. She summoned dark spirits, monstrous assassins, and deadly creatures of the night. Her power spread across the land like a raging storm. Yet not everyone under her rule was loyal. Alice felt trapped. On one side stood the darkness of her family, and on the other was the goodness she had seen in Tom. Unable to ignore her heart any longer, she finally decided to meet him again. When they met, Alice revealed the truth. She confessed that she was a witch, the daughter of Victoria and the niece of Mother Malkin. However, she insisted that she was nothing like them. Her feelings for Tom were genuine, and she warned him about the terrible danger that was approaching. Tom was deeply conflicted, but despite everything, his heart chose to trust Alice. As a result, the two of them grew even closer. The following day, a nearby king summoned Master Gregory. The king explained that a monstrous creature had attacked his kingdom. 300 soldiers had tried to capture it, but almost all of them had died. Only a handful survived, and together they had finally managed to trap the beast inside a massive iron cage. The people were terrified. Gregory calmly said, "Yes, I can kill it, but it won't be cheap." In exchange, he demanded a large amount of gold. Once the deal was made, Gregory confidently walked toward the cage while Tom watched nervously from behind. Gregory pulled out a pouch filled with shimmering silver dust and threw it over the creature. The beast let out a horrifying scream. Its thick hide began to melt away, revealing its true identity. It was a powerful demon that had been disguised as a gigantic, ferocious bear. The moment the creature returned to its true form, it launched a ferocious attack against Gregory. Gregory fought back fiercely with his magical staff, but the demon was incredibly powerful as well. It was using dark magic alongside its physical strength. However, working together, the master and his apprentice finally managed to overpower the creature. At the final moment, Gregory hurled a blazing sphere of magical fire from his staff and burned the demon alive. After the battle, Gregory shouted angrily at Tom, "Why did you hesitate? Because of your hesitation, someone could have died. You had the perfect opportunity to kill it." Tom tried to explain, "If I can stop someone without killing them, then I don't think killing is the right thing to do. But Gregory refused to listen. Filled with anger and disappointment, he left Tom standing there all alone and walked away. Hidden among the crowd, Alice had witnessed everything. Seeing Tom's kindness made her feel something she had never felt before. Until now, she had believed that all humans simply wanted to destroy magical creatures without ever trying to understand them. But Tom showed her a completely different perspective. She realized just how pure his heart truly was, and she could no longer stop herself from falling in love with him. After that, Tom and Alice grew much closer. They spent the night together. That night, however, Tom couldn't sleep at all. His dreams were filled with terrifying visions, burning skies, monstrous creatures, and Mother Malkin's ever-growing power. He awoke in a cold sweat and went searching for Gregory. Gregory was sitting quietly by himself, lost in regret. He had decided that the time had finally come to reveal the truth. He told Tom that Mother Malkin had not always been evil. Once she had been a powerful, kind, and compassionate witch, and Gregory had loved her deeply. But her desire to become immortal had driven her insane. When Gregory tried to stop her, she turned against him, embraced the darkness, and became the monster she was today. Gregory's voice trembled with guilt as he admitted that there had once been a time when he believed he could save her. But now, the only thing left for him to do was destroy the monster she had become. Their peaceful moment did not last long. From the shadows of the forest emerged another terrifying creature, a monstrous beast that hunted by scent. With frightening speed, it lunged toward them, tracking every movement through their smell. Gregory shouted at Tom, "Run!" But the monster refused to stop chasing them. With no other choice, they jumped from the edge of a cliff into a roaring waterfall below. The rushing water washed away their scent, but the monster leaped into the water after them. Tom drew his sword and confronted the creature head-on. After an intense struggle, he struck a fatal blow and killed the beast. For the first time, Gregory looked at him with genuine pride. Just then, Alice's mother, Victoria, suddenly appeared before them. Her face was burning with rage. She had learned about Tom and Alice's growing relationship and saw it as an unforgivable betrayal of their own kind. Without hesitation, she attacked, aiming her sword directly at Tom's heart. But the instant the blade touched the locket hanging around his neck, a brilliant flash of light burst out. It was the very same locket Tom's mother had given him before he left home. The moment Victoria saw it, she froze in complete shock. She whispered to herself, "That stone." Before finishing her sentence, she hurriedly fled. Tom had no idea what had just happened. Holding the locket tightly, he ran to Gregory. When Gregory saw it, his eyes widened in disbelief. He carefully took the locket into his hands and said, "This is no ordinary talisman. It belongs to Mother Malkin herself." He explained that unimaginable power was sealed inside it, a power capable of making Malkin immortal forever. Then Gregory revealed a truth that completely shook Tom. Many years ago, another witch had stolen this very locket from Mother Malkin, and because of that, Gregory had been able to imprison her for the first time. Gregory looked directly at Tom and said, "That witch was your own mother." Tom's heart sank. Everything suddenly began to make sense. The strange visions, the recurring dreams, and the mysterious power he had always felt inside himself. His mother had never been an ordinary village woman. She had been a witch who betrayed her own kind in order to protect her son. The revelation left Tom completely speechless. Meanwhile, high within her mountain fortress, Mother Malkin sensed the pull of her missing talisman. She knew it was close, and she also knew exactly who possessed it. Turning toward Alice, she began poisoning her mind with cruel words. "Do you really think he will still love you after he learns what you truly are? That human will do to you exactly what Gregory did to me." Then Malkin gave Alice a horrifying choice. "If you bring me my talisman, I will spare Tom's life. Otherwise, he will be the first person I kill." Torn apart between love and loyalty, Alice left in search of Tom. The moment Alice departed from the fortress, Mother Malkin unleashed her full wrath. Together with her sister Victoria and a massive army of monstrous dark creatures, she descended upon the nearby city like a storm of death. Her army tore through the streets, set everything ablaze, and slaughtered everyone who stood in their path. Seeing innocent people dying all around her, Tom's mother refused to run away. Gathering all her courage, she confronted one of Malkin's monstrous soldiers, a gigantic reptilian beast that looked absolutely terrifying. She fought with everything she had and managed to kill the monster, but she paid a terrible price for her bravery. Seeing this act of rebellion, Mother Malkin became consumed with fury. Tom's mother tried to escape, but she was powerless before Malkin's overwhelming magic. Blinded by rage, Malkin showed no mercy and killed Tom's mother. Elsewhere among the mountains, Alice finally found Tom and Master Gregory. Gregory immediately stepped in front of Tom and coldly warned him that he could never trust her because witches always brought death wherever they went. Despite Gregory's warning, Tom walked toward Alice. In an emotional embrace, he assured her that he still believed in the goodness within her. But while they held each other, Alice secretly stole the locket, the very object preventing Mother Malkin from regaining her full power. Tom unknowingly let her disappear into the dark forest. The moment he realized the locket was gone, he felt deeply betrayed. He ran after Alice, calling out, "Why did you do this?" But suddenly Radu appeared before him. Malkin's monstrous warrior attacked without the slightest mercy, swinging his massive sword with all his strength. Tom fought back with everything he had. However, Radu was far stronger. During the brutal battle, Radu knocked Tom off the edge of a cliff. Fortunately, Tom struck several tree branches on the way down, leaving him unconscious instead of dead. Radu captured Gregory and dragged him like a prisoner back toward Mother Malkin's fortress. While unconscious, Tom once again entered another vision. He saw fire, destruction, and Mother Malkin's terror spreading across the entire world. Then, within the darkness, a gentle light appeared. His mother's spirit stood before him, glowing peacefully. She knelt beside him and softly said, "Do not be afraid, my son. My strength lives within you. You can defeat her." Her words filled him with warmth, hope, and courage. When Tom opened his eyes, he was alive. Something inside him had changed. His fear had been replaced by unshakable determination. With the help of Gregory's loyal companion Tusk, Tom got back on his feet and began his journey toward Malkin's fortress. Meanwhile, inside the fortress, Alice returned the stolen locket to Mother Malkin. Malkin welcomed it with cold satisfaction while mocking Gregory, who stood chained before her. But just as Malkin prepared to kill Gregory, Gregory revealed a devastating truth to Alice. Her father had not been killed by Gregory. It was Victoria herself who had murdered him under Mother Malkin's orders. The revelation shattered Alice's heart. She realized that her entire life had been built upon lies. Turning against her own mother, she made her choice. Just as Malkin was about to strike Gregory down, Alice lunged forward, snatched the locket from Malkin's neck and fled. Driven into uncontrollable rage, Mother Malkin transformed into a gigantic dragon-like monster made entirely of black smoke and fire. She charged toward Alice, fully intending to kill her. Before she could, however, Victoria stepped in front of her daughter. Finally choosing to protect Alice instead of obeying her sister, Victoria confronted Mother Malkin. A deadly magical battle erupted between the two powerful witches. Lightning and flames collided violently in the air as they unleashed every ounce of their power. During the chaos, the locket slipped from Alice's hands. It crashed onto the ground and shattered into pieces. At that exact moment, Tom and Tusk smashed through the fortress doors and stormed inside. Together, they cut down Malkin's soldiers one after another. Tom found Gregory and freed him from his chains. Then Radu appeared once again, blocking their escape. This time he transformed into an even more terrifying monster. Roaring with fury, he attacked. But this time, Tom and Gregory were completely prepared. Fighting together with extraordinary skill and strength, they battled the monster in an intense clash. After a long and deadly fight, Gregory used Radu's own sharp tail to pierce his heart, finally killing him. Gregory then eliminated the remaining dark soldiers before turning his full attention toward Mother Malkin. Inside the burning fortress, the battle between the two sisters reached its climax. Mother Malkin finally overpowered Victoria and struck her with a fatal blow, killing her own sister. However, as the sun began rising over the mountains, Malkin's power started to fade. Seeing his chance, Gregory approached her. Weak and defeated, Mother Malkin looked at him and softly said, "It isn't too late. We can still be together. I never stopped loving you." But Gregory had heard those words before. With deep sadness in his eyes, he quietly replied, "Your chance has already passed." He raised his dagger and delivered one final strike, destroying Mother Malkin forever and ending her reign of darkness once and for all. As the flames slowly died out, Tom and Alice found each other among the ruined fortress. Exhausted and covered in ash, they embraced tightly, knowing how much they had sacrificed to save the world. Gregory silently watched them, and for the first time in many years, a small smile of pride appeared on his face. Peace had finally returned to the world. With that, Gregory officially chose Tom as his successor. From that day forward, the responsibility of fighting evil rested upon Tom's shoulders.